Good morning, art buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with Pink Girly. I'm Pink Girly, and it is July 31st. Can you even believe it? July 31st. It's crazy to me. Oh, well, days just go by so fast, don't they? Well, I had forgotten I popped off a nail, so I'm just putting this nail back on. I thought I had it on good, and it just came loose again, so don't be alarmed if this nail pops off while I'm working. There's my lovely, there she is, Jacqueline. Good morning. I know it is crazy. Before you know it, we're going to be hanging garland and snowflakes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. 2026 is around the corner. All right, so I feel like making a bee journal. So that's what I'm going to work on today. I don't really need a bee journal. I don't really like bees per se. I like the idea of bees. I don't really like bugs. But I have made bee journals in the past, and they were very well received. Hey, Vale, good morning. Sweetheart, good morning. How are you? Okay, so I printed off some digitals. I did start cutting some things out. So while some people start filtering in, I'm just going to cut some of these that I haven't gotten to. I was trying to decide on what paper to use, and I was digging through my stash. Fun. Thank you. Good, sweetheart. Sweetheart, I'm sorry, but have we met? I just don't remember. Sweetheart SH. I feel like I should know your name, but I apologize. I don't. Show the digitals. Okay, so I have to put the names of the digitals I'm using in my description box. I didn't take time to do that. I've been up since 6 and started on this. And just, when you're having fun, they say stay time flies. All right, so I had a hard time figuring out what the heck this was, but these are tabs for the edges of your pages. Isn't this cute? Now, this one's marked. This one's by SweetVintagePrints. SH is fine. Yes, many times. I'm so sorry. I just blame it on old age, but I can't believe my husband's home already. He ran to the store. You're going to buy these? Oh my gosh, I've had so many of these. I know, right, Vale? All right, so these are tabs. So I'm going to hopefully, I wonder where my oval cutter is. All right, because I'm like a nerd about trimming these out and getting them exact. So there's this. And this she has more, I'm saying she, but I don't know if this is a female or male designer. These make pockets, like layered pockets. See how they've got them on your journal page? These again are pockets and then decorative strips. This is all from the same collection, I believe. These, I struggle with this because, see, I have, like I said, I'm anal cutting stuff out. I have a hard time with cutting that out. So I just might whack that off and make them straight across. Look how cute that is. And then you've got a bunch of different tags. Now I'm printing on, what am I printing on, Jay? Presentation paper. So it's got a little bit of weight to it, but it's not like, like a manila file folder type weight. It's not that heavy. So here's some cool tags. Smaller ones. And here's the bee. The bee. More corner pockets. More pockets. And then I did cut some out last night from a different collection. I don't remember who this was by. This was probably by the same person. See, I didn't get to do these little corners yet. Look at this. Look, it took me over the top. And what are these? These are file folders. Like a file folder. So you go like this. I don't know who my hub's talking to. Isn't that cute? Not so crazy about that being plain, but we'll do something about that, I think. All right, so I've got all these little bits. I've got more to cut out. I do have more that I can print. So I'm thinking bees and probably some sunflowers are going to find their way into this journal. But I thought some of these straight cuts, I like to cut by hand a lot of times. And look, I have pink chips that are a color that would work. So I thought they might look cute. And so I'm looking through my paper. I was looking through specifically for a sunflower kit that I purchased from Jacqueline. If some of the replayers, or if you're here and you don't know, Jacqueline sells on Friday evening, or Friday late afternoon. Well, I guess you call it late afternoon. I'm not sure. Around 4 o'clock on YouTube. Her paper is amazing. And I had a sunflower kit that I got. So I just love. And I thought, well, I could incorporate that. So I'm digging through all my stuff, trying to decide, what paper I'm going to use for this project. And then I came across paper that just, when I saw it, I thought, yep, that's what I'm doing. It's paper, packing paper. You know how when you order something, sometimes sometimes it's Amazon, but sometimes it's not. Oh, this is going to be tricky. This little skinny cut. So I have said many, many times, I have a hard time throwing things away. And I just look at something and I think, what can I do with that? Maybe I shouldn't throw it away. And that's partially why my room looks the way it looks. Well, this is just a plain, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. Little skinny pieces are hard to get a hold of and line them up. I'm not sure what this could be like a little, I wonder if they've got this one titled, I'm wondering if I fold this, it could be like a little accordion number, like to jump out, maybe have a bee on the end. I don't know. All right, we're going to scissor this. So I'm digging through my stash and I see this wad of paper and I thought, yep, bingo, I'm going to do that. Because I was thinking, wouldn't it be neat to make like a tome out of lunch bags and have old bee stuff in it? But I just wasn't sure that I wanted to go that route. And then I found a stash of paper. Now I had kind of treated it before, so it's just that brown packing paper. Of course, I trimmed it down. I ironed it. I tried to do some different things to it to make it take some color. See, there's some staining on this, but it didn't really work so well. But I have a whole wad of this. So this morning I just started to really try to recrease those folds. And it's going to be one signature, I believe. See, I have a whole stack of them. See, I tried to do some staining here. I'm just going to leave it. You know? So that's what I decided to use for my pages. And then I can add other paper, of course, on top. And then I was thinking I will stencil and do some other stuff. Where's the one I worked on? Because I've got some honeycomb stencils. I've got some Paris stencils, which I know may not make sense to you, but I like it, so I'm thinking I'm going to use them. What the heck, what? It has green, it has fabric on the, oh, there it is. It was bent under. So I just did this with some gesso and a stencil. So I think that looks kind of cool. I think I want to stitch around all the pages. So of course this isn't all going to be done today. Just trying to give you an idea of what I'm thinking about. I think the stitches around the edges might give it a little more stability. So see, I just started to stencil a little bit here. This is carpet tape with fabric. I thought that might be nice on an edge or two. So that's, at least that's the direction I'm planning on heading. Now all these have to be snipped. Now somewhere I have an oval punch, which I think might work well to do these tabs. Let's see, I didn't get this real good. It's hard for me to get in close with that paper cutter. So if you have any ideas, certainly you can let me know. I'm not, well, that was a quick trip.
Yeah, we'll be back in case the inspector came.
Huh?
We'll be back in case the inspector came. Well, look at all these.
What? I don't know what he said. I think he mumbles. It couldn't possibly be my ears. All right, I got stuff in front of my screen. Dale says, I'm sitting on my sofa amongst paper bags and packing paper, thinking about making a trashy. Ooh, that sounds yummy. All right, need to get my glasses down. It's hard for me to see where the lines are here. Now, of course, I'm going to want to ink the edges. That all takes time. So I was out of printer ink. So I placed an order, put the cartridge in that it was asking for when my ink came yesterday. And I thought I had gone in and canceled all the jobs. But no, I didn't. So I'm using the backs. I don't want to waste this presentation paper, you know? So I'm probably not going to use those tabs because they printed in black and white. So these will all be glued together and we won't know the difference. Energy level is super low though. Have a cup of tea or something, you'll get past it. We'll get past it. Maybe I'll get some, we can give you some ideas to make a trashy journal. All right, so let's see. This is my little ticket journal. I want to try to find, let's see, I've been putting my punches that I use regular here. Everything in the drawer, it's dark, so I'm not sure I'm going to see it. Oh, was that it? No, that's a little heart. It's a Timmy punch, and then I have two other ovals, different sizes, you know, which I think would work really well for those tabs. But we may have to dig a little bit. Yeah. Hold, please. Hold, please. I don't think that's deep enough. Oh, we have an inspector coming. I guess he's here. We've got this project going. Oh, well, I don't see it in where I thought it was. Yeah, Trashy Journal sounds really good. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's the one oval, but I don't think that one's going to work. I have two other kinds. And I know where they are. It's just a matter of getting to them. CJ, there's my one, my journal, like what you just got. That Vale gifted you. My cover is plain. Oh, this would be work. This is what I'm looking for. That one. Now I got to get everything back. I'm going to have a mess. Well, I have a mess anyway after I stream. Now, if you have a die cut machine, you know, like a high-inch, if you have like a, oh, what do I call mine? And mine's a puddle bug or one of those machines, and you have some dies, you could run them through and cut them out easily. I just don't cut with scissors that oval shape very well. I just know myself. See, so for me, who has some issues with, you know, things being precise, this kind of works better. I'm thinking it's the right size. Of course, getting it in there in the right place, that's a whole nother, and it's not quite the right shape. I think the circle I have, well, maybe the circle would work. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's just a little off. But I could ink that. Now I have a bigger one, which might work, but let's not. I don't want to make everybody as crazy as I am. Now I'm trying to be particular about getting all the white off because it's just hard to cover that up when you ink. You know, it's just such a difference. And that white is just so stark. Sometimes it's hard even when you ink because it kind of just still sticks out. That's a little deeper than I wanted, but I think that works pretty good. So, you may not have digitals, although some digitals right now, if you have a printer, Some of them right now, a lot of them are having sales, and they're just like, I mean, I saw one this morning for 74 cents. Of course, you probably didn't get a lot with that one, but if you don't have digitals, maybe you could find a magazine. It doesn't have to be bees, whatever you want to make your journal about, if you want to theme it. Fabric, you can always do fabric. You might have some color book pages you could use. Wrapping paper. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ange. We're going to try to keep the stream lighthearted, though. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I think sometimes we go down that rabbit trail and we're all kind of getting to be that age, right? It's just very upsetting. So I was saying fabric. What are some other ideas if you don't have digitals? What are some other things? Stencils. You can pull out your stencils to decorate your pages. And you could use those on 3x5 cards or some cardstock. Just trying to think of some other things that we could recollage or maybe have in our stack. Just talking to Kelly Ann. Kelly Ann's coming for a visit, and she makes these wonderful bracelets. I have mine in my bedroom. She's made me too. Making a bee journal. And I asked Kellyanne if she can show me how to do this Tudor bracelet that she makes. Of course, I thought you used certain. Oh yeah, magazine pages. That's a great idea, SH. That's a great idea. I didn't think of that. So she said she would show me. I'm really not a bead person. Stamps, yes, stamps. How could I forget them? You could either stamp right on the page, or you could stamp on 3x5s, or if you've got 4x6s, or pull out some of your scraps. I pulled out some black scraps that I thought might look nice to put some of the stuff on to help it pop for either pockets or tuck-ins or something, So last night I'm sitting in my comfy chair, I'm lying, cutting out these images. And the day before, I was playing catch with my puppy, she's over a year old now. She's not really a puppy. And she went to grab the toy and she nailed me right there. Oh my gosh, this is so sore. And this all it doesn't look bruised, but it all feels sore and bruised in here. So I'm cutting out this stuff and I'm gathering up all my pieces of trash to put away. And you couldn't do it if you tried. Edges of paper went right into that open cut. I had it bleeding again. Oh my gosh. Insect books. Yes. Encyclopedias, dictionaries. You could go to the insect, the word insects or bugs or bees and rip out some of those pages. Great ideas. These are great ideas. Okay. So I do want to get some more backgrounds done. These I started to do before you guys came in. Now, most of you know how to do this stuff. Now, my oxide inks aren't going on as well as maybe I'd like. I have my wrist to my hand, not so great. So that's real work. Now you could use paint. I just don't feel like getting paint out today and messing with that jazz. So I wanted to try to stick with my oxides. I didn't look at my stamps. I should have done that. But I want to just try to get a little more down on some of these pages. So I'm really kind of liking how the gesso looks here. So I kind of want to jump around a little bit because I don't want to, well, the way they're going to go in the book, I guess they won't all be next to each other. So, and I've seen here, like, I don't know if you've ever worked with this packing paper, but it's all perforated. It's like it's on a big roll, I guess, and they just yank it, yank it, yank it, and they, tear it off. So it's all got a little bit of a ridge here, and then sometimes when you pull it apart, it doesn't come off as nice. But I'm not going to worry about that. I kind of like the way that looks. So I've just got my gesso here, and I'm not doing the whole page. I'm just trying to hit it here and there. All right. Now I just had a thought. What if you could use napkins, guys. How about napkins? I just pulled my napkin book out and thought, napkins. Duh. I'm looking for, oh, this is probably not clean. It's never clean. I don't clean up after Seal. That's my tape gun. Okay. Let's just have a look through these napkins real quick. See what I got. See, I've got sunflower. Okay, Ange. Now, I don't know if this is an idea you might like, but I had these, I guess, I don't know if they're pocket protectors, 3-hole punch, and it's just a pocket. My husband was able to get a bunch of these for me. I thought, what the heck will I ever do with these? Well, I've used them so much. And then I just stitched them together because I didn't want a big ring. And then I used these to store a sample of the napkins that I have. This probably needs to be cleaned out. I probably don't have a lot of these yet. Or still. I know I did have a bee one. But I'm not seeing it. And of course, if you use a napkin, you don't need a whole lot, just a piece of it works. I think I used up all the bee one I had. It was so cute. It's by that company that starts with an M, Michelle or Michael, something like that. Oh, there's a cool eyeball. Sometimes you'll look through. I asked my husband to look for something at Aldi's. He said, I looked before, I didn't see it. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you look and don't see a lot of things. Don't want to eat the rabbits. Oh, Pooey. Oh, Pooey. Well, I can use that sunflower, I think, for sure. I'll have to dig back in my napkin drawer. But yeah, I forgot all about napkins. All right, I'm just sitting here thinking, I've got this gesso, and then I was working on another project, and I've got a couple of my alcohol inks out. So maybe if I color some of this gesso, this is caramel. This might look cool. I'm going to try to mix a little bit right here. I should be able to, right? I don't want to make a ton in case I don't like it. Now, of course, this is white, so it's, it's going to lighten up quite a bit, I would think. I think you could do this with a little bit of paint. I'm not sure about watercolor, but if you have some acrylic paint, I'm just kind of knocking that white back a little bit. If you have any of those Timmy stains or anybody's stains, what there's different names. There's Lily, I think, and if you have any of the old Tattered Angels stuff laying around, you know, I think a lot of us tend to keep that stuff and don't throw it away. You get so much of it, you know, probably don't use it all. So now I'm going to get my stencil, I hope. I'm going to use the same one. I'm going to use this honeycomb. And I have this tool. This is a Tim Holtz tool. If I am honest, it's not the best. I think he's redone this, so the new ones might be better. But this doesn't usually stay put. So you can see I've got different product on there, but if it comes off, I'm all right. So I'm just going to tap that in. It's just like an old-timey, like, you know, stencil brush. Remember when we used to stencil on the wall or on a cabinet? Now, like I said, you could certainly do this with acrylic paint. Just wanted, I was using my finger, and I thought that was silly. That was silly. This packing paper is very thin. So by putting some of this product on it will help stiffen it up a little bit. Well, for one. And now a lot of it, you know, might end up getting covered up with whatever I decide to put on top or however I use the page. But at least I've got a base. You could also use your jelly plate. Put some paint on your jelly plate, you know, with your brayer or a stencil, stamps, whatever. Just use watercolor and drip that on. Use some coffee stain, and that would be a quick way to jazz up and put a background on some of these pages. Oh, welcome back, Ange. Do you have to work today, Ange? Or can you relax? Now I'm going to use a little white over here. Andrew's talking about making some fall arrangements. She's got another craft event coming up. I really like that honeycomb. I kind of like this design too. Let's do one with this. Oh, she has her great nephew today. Oh, that'll keep her hopping. That'll keep her hopping. Oh, really, Ange? Ange, you should ask your doctor about drinking. Like I follow this doctor, Living Good. But my husband made a good point, I think, the other day, because I was drinking, and I think Judy does this. I think Judy said she does this. You take a half a teaspoon of baking soda in water and you drink it. I mean, it's not. It's hard to drink. It's not, you know, yummy. I'm going to tell you that. But I've been seeing him saying this and saying it. I thought, oh, and then Judy said she does it several times a day. It's supposed to get your alkaline in your system in order or whatever. So I tried it. And then my husband said, well, maybe you should check with your doctor or the pharmacist to see if it would interfere with your medication, which I think is a good idea. So that's why I'm saying maybe check with your doctor. But, you hear some of these things and you think, yeah, right. Okay. So I did it. I took a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Now, I'm not saying do this. I'm saying if you want to try it, check with your doctor first, okay? But I did it. Within a half an hour, I could move so much better. My joints and my bones felt so much better. So I'm going to send a message to my doctor and just double check to make sure, it wouldn't interfere with any of my medications, which I don't think it would because I felt fine. In fact, I felt great. But it might be worth your while to just, make a call or send a message to your physician to see, or, call your pharmacy if you're on any medicine. I felt really good. All right. Oh, I was going to try this other one. See, silly me. I forget. All right. So let's get some more white. Let's try this way. Sweetheart, no, they are in school. School started half day today. So they are in high school. One is with his mother in another town. He starts next week. Oh, okay. I forgot some places school is starting. I was hoping if the inspector came today for our project, maybe the workerman would come, but I don't know. There's Laura. Hi, Laura. Laura, I was just thinking this morning, now I can call you one of my in-person friends. There's a friend of mine I went to church with for years, and sometimes she'll pop in on my Sunday stream occasionally, and I often will say, oh, there's Kathy, my real live in-person friend. Laura and I had a chance to meet, and it was just wonderful. So that's kind of cool. This little stencil. Let's see what else I got here. I got this from Jenny X. It's really big, but I'm going to use it because I think it's cool. Look, see, I don't allow myself a whole lot of room to fuss around here. Let's move some of that jazz. And then in a few minutes, I'll move it from here to another place. Yeah, the tips feel like in-person friends, I think. But now I can call them real in-person friends. Kellyanne, Laura, Janet Nash. Let's just do cafe. We can have a bee cafe, right? A bee cafe. I don't know. My husband's always saying to me, yeah, Pat, all this space you could use, well, I don't put anything away. But Laura and I were talking about this too. Like for me, if I put stuff away and I don't see it, then I forget. See, now this got kind of messy. Let's just try to wipe that up a little bit. Cafe, and then let's put number Rue Street Soleil. I'm not going to put the whole thing on, but let's put the number Rue. So meanwhile, we have this project on our home being done, our streets being repaved. So we're just up in a lot of activity here for these old folks. Now, I am going to stitch around. I think I'm going to stitch around most of these. I guess I could leave some plain. Let me pull out one of my stamp boxes just to see. Now, I know I have my little bee. I had him out the other day. Where did he go? Oh, I hope he didn't fly. Oh, look, I could use yo-yos. This is for another cover, though. I don't want to use that one. Angie's got me making yo-yos. There's a honeycomb. Let's see if anything else would work. This kind of would work. The big mumbo jumbo. Got lots of flowers and whatnot. Oh, I love that. Let's get some of that on the page. So you can see why, if you've never made a journal, you can see why you can get distracted and why it can take so long. All right, let's see. I want a juicy stamp, which I'm not sure I got a juicy stamp. Usually the blue is juicy. I'll try this stays on. We'll see how it goes. Now I'm going to need to do a practice stamp. Jacqueline, I found my transfer sheets. No, not transfer, transparency. See, I keep saying it wrong. So when you're stamping or you're inking or you're stenciling or you put watercolor, whatever you use, if you put something in the background, you're going to probably cover it up. But even if a little tiny bit of it, comes out, it just adds to the finished page, It just really does. This could be juicier, but we're going to go with it. Ange wants to talk to Laura. Laura, we'll see in a week what comes up for you. So I got a message from my bonus son in the UK. Now, meanwhile, I have sent him messages and he doesn't respond. He responds better to me than other people. Like some people he doesn't ever respond to. But, he's a busy dad of 3. And I mean, I get that. But, it takes you 2 seconds. It takes you 2 seconds to say, and of course the time difference is a factor. I get all that. But it takes you literally 2 seconds to say, okay here, or I'm alive, or buzz off, whatever. And I don't hear from him, don't hear from him, don't hear from him. Well, I'm being a little bit of a nudge because I got a message from him the other day and I haven't responded. Now, some of it has to do with we've been really crazy busy here with a lot of different stuff. I know we're old, but we do get busy. And then with the time difference, I think, oh, it's not a good time now to send a message. He's sleeping, you know. So, but in the back of my mind, I am in some way not answering because it stinks not to get an answer. Well, sure enough, I got another message. And he said, usually I'm the one who's trash and don't answer in time. We want to know if you're okay. We miss you, you know. And then if you don't answer, she calls. Yeah. Yeah. It's always the shoes on the different foot. So some of this is looking a little messy, but you know, it's all right. It's all right. Let's get a couple of these out. So we're using a couple of different things that you might have in your stash. Stencils, stamps you can't get out of cute little plastic bags for storage. Oh, here we go. It's just open at the end. It takes my daughter days to answer, and summer is no better than fall. Now, like fall, she's a school teacher. I get it. She can't answer all the time. She's in a classroom. I get that. But really, we used to do that with my mom. Where's mommy? She's not answering. So I really have to answer them today. I don't want them to worry, but give me a break, kid. You know, he's across the pond. And then I'm sure they get busy and they forget. My kids don't think about me like that. Well, my son's pretty good, actually. My real son's pretty good. But he doesn't really have a life. So there's that too. All right, let's do a combo here. Let's get this covered up. Sometimes when I'm done working at my desk at night, I walk away. I think I've got everything battened up and wrapped up, and I come in the next morning, and sure enough, I've left one of my ink things open. Oh gosh, I hate when I do that. And then I wonder why they're dry. I wonder. I know I don't really have that much experience, you know. But my son is like should have been a daughter. What's going on? Oh, nothing. I just called to check in on you, see how you're doing. Like, really? He's just so good to me. I don't want to do that. I want to dip this out. I don't want to get any other color in I don't want to contaminate my gesso. Now I have black gesso too. Ooh, that's an idea, isn't it? Because, you know, black, you think of bees, yellow and black, I think of, right? See, now if you do something like this, you know, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You can get a lot of coverage for minimal effort. All right. So let's see. Been doing that for almost an hour. So let me give you a break. I'm just going to scrape off some of this. It's on my palette knife. Add some additional Welcome to the junk. Oh, I didn't get anything on this side. That's sad. Let's just do this. Got something on there. Okay. All right, so I need to leave this open so it dries a little bit. So let's put that off to the side and get my paper towel, clean this off. The Phillies got hammered last night. Ay, ay, ay. They're driving me. They're driving me. A little sip of my smoothie. All right, so here's a couple other things I haven't cut out. Look how cute those are. All right, these are going to make tuck spots. Now, some of these I could stitch on. But the thing I don't like about stitching on is that thing that you see the stitches on the other side. So a lot of times, if I'm going to stitch, I like to stitch first and then glue it down, because then you don't see it on the page behind. And sometimes I like to see it, you know, it just depends. Now I have a whale's tail too, so I can always use that to make tabs for my pages. But this kit came with quite a few. Good job, Ange. It's about time. You did it yourself. Excellent. Proud of you. That's good. What are you going to work on today, Ange? Look at these. These are from a different digital kit, but I thought they would work. Aren't they yummy? I should probably use the paper trimmer, but sometimes it's just as easy. Now I got these big scissors because if you ever watched Rosemary Morris, she's got these huge scissors. And I've heard her say many times, you know, people are always saying, how can you use those big scissors? But she makes a fair point, you know, once snip and baby, you're done. Now this pair is not as big as Rosemary's, but it's a pretty good sized pair of scissors. And I mostly got it because of the purple. Yes, like garden shears. Yes. Pin snips. And then in a couple of seconds, you're done. Oh, Laura, you're so educated. I don't even know who those people are. Matisse? I know it's an art guy, right? Famous art guy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know much about, true art, real art. I don't retain much either. I retain what I'm interested in, I guess. I guess a lot of us. I don't want to stab my hand again with these. I would. I know Monet. I don't know the piece. All right, so. Where to start? That's the thing. Oh, I've got some of this. Now, this is some of Jacqueline's paper. This is pretty heavy, so this might be 32 pounds. I think I want to tear some of that. I want to tear some of that up, baby. I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to tear it up. Let's see. Oh, gosh, I just like that so much. Oh, these are file folders. The problem with printing and doing some of this stuff on your own is you don't have the pre-scored lines. Now I'm trying to think how I want to use these file folders. Maybe as a tuck-in? Sometimes I think it's hard to just get started, to just dig in and just do something. Oh, there's my bee. There's my bee. Somewhere on this desk, I think I have well, maybe I'll do this. You can't really see that, can you? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. No, that's better than white. Maybe I like it better this way. Oh, he's delicious. He's delicious. Layer and stack, layer and stack. Oh, that's right. Today's the day. Laura's going live after me. Right. Oh, you know what I did with my stamps a couple of years ago? And of course, I never followed through, finished. But I took an old dictionary and I started to stamp my stamps in the dictionary. Well, that's all well and good, but I tried to be organized and keep them marked in a certain tub, and it consumed me, and I just couldn't get it together. Now, where's that black paper I bought? Maybe I need some black paper. Hold on. Hold on. I put a little yellow zipper bag with stuff in it. I cut out a bunch of these too to make what are they called? To make penny rugs. Okay, Laura's going to grab some water. Years ago, I guess she's still doing stuff. She's in the UK, I believe. Her name is Claire Sharville, I think. She just does amazing work. Layers, and I mean she's one of the first people I started to watch when I got into this journaling stuff and making videos and all that jazz. And she trimmed everything in black. Like she would put this on here and she would trim that out. I don't think that's as much of a pop as I like to have. I think I'd like to stitch this and then make it a pocket. Now, where's one of the... I love this. What did I do with... Oh, here they are. I'm saying, what did I do with all those little tags? I can hear those trucks playing the blacktop. Maybe I'd like to stamp a bee on here. Let's get this. Keep using my sample sheet. Let's just do this. She might be on her lunch break or getting ready to go on her lunch break. I don't know what time she does her lunch break. Oh, that looks cute. Let's see if it'll clear up. There we go. I could certainly do a better stamp. I'm going to have to juice these up again. They must have really been thirsty. That still doesn't look very juicy. Now let's use a little glue. See if I can get a little glue out. Now see, if you print something or there's a mistake, Don't throw that out. Just flip it over. Use the other side. That's what I did here. And I could stitch these too. I could stitch them on or stitch around them. It just depends on how crazy you want to get. It just depends. I think we need a little bee in here. Bee in your bonnet. Sweetheart stayed up with Ginger. I did pretty good last night sleeping. That's unusual. I didn't wake up till 6. I missed my 4 o'clock. Usually I'm awake at 4. I could put fabric here. See, I don't want to put this down yet because I want to stitch around it and I want to make this a pocket. And I'm thinking, you know, that will look cute. Oh, look, I'm mostly out of screen. You should yell at me. So that looks okay. And then I think I had some words here that were included. Lace, don't forget your lace. Trims, if you have any trims. I have this really great fuzzy, thick yarn. Yeah, Jacqueline can't stay up late either. I'm usually up, but I was good last night. I went to sleep at a reasonable hour. And you can layer on top of things too, right? Let's not forget that. A pocket on top of the pocket, but a little piece of black might look nice behind this. See, look how nice that looks. I gotta trim that on the paper cutter though. Another one. I'm still looking for those little words. I know I cut out words. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I'm usually tired, but I like to fall asleep. I mean, I'm just not. I'm like an infant. I'm like a kid. See, now I was thinking, what about this as like an accordion? Like, why would I want this as an accordion? I want to fold it straight. I don't want it to be all wonky. Our son's going to be moving, so he's looking for an apartment. He's so excited. He thinks he found one. It's on the first floor. He's so cute. He's like, Mom, it's on the first floor, so you could come and stay over. Hang out and then stay overnight. He likes being around his mother. I don't know what I'll do with this, but it might come in handy. All right, I have a bunch of other stuff. Now, wait a minute. Here's some stuff. So I have all these tickets, and these have to have the corners. See, that drives me crazy to cut that. And you might be able to do it, but see, I have this, so I just have to line it up, and I can get that little bit off. I mean, ideally, you sit your paper in there. There's a guide, but this is so small. So I'm just like eyeballing it. It's like cutting toenails. Okay, thanks, sweetheart. Her eyes are getting heavy. Maybe this is where I have the words. Now, don't forget your cheesecloth, or if you've got some coffee stained fabric. All that stuff looks cool on these pages. Now, there's tons of work to be done. Hi, Susie. I guess is it afternoon yet, or let me see. Still morning. Good morning. This one needs to be trimmed a little. I should have inked these while I was sitting in my chair, but I just got them cut out. It's just got a little bit. What are you working on, Susie? Anything? Or are you relaxing? Okay, let me just trim this way. I didn't get real close. Has anybody seen a couple of the videos that Mary posted? Looks like she's having a nice time. The place where they're staying looks really awesome. I think she said other family was coming today, maybe, and there's something about a pontoon boat. I hope she gets to go out on the pontoon boat. She said her brother might commandeer it to take it for a fishing day. I hope she gets to go. It's so relaxing and so cool to be on one. All right, so here's some other pieces of this digital. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, maybe I should work on some pockets. All right, now I can always add stuff, right? You can always add. What you can't do is a lot of the times, depending on the glue you use, you can't always pick up and move what you've put down. So I just like to be sure. And now I don't want to really glue this, like I said, because I want to stitch it and make it a pocket. So let's take this and put this, I'm going to put it on my sewing machine. So I remember that's what I want to do. Now let's try some of these. Now this designer has all these little like wedgie looking things to make pockets. So Susie said, I'm finishing up my July challenges. Oh, good for you. I got a few days behind. You know what it's like to get, yes. Today is my littlest grand's. Aww. So today will be about him. Oh, how nice. How old is he? Happy birthday to him. Birthdays are fun. Well, they're fun when you have little ones. Probably not too many of us look forward to our birthdays, if you know what I mean. Lovely. All right, let's see. Now, of course, this isn't a normal sized page, right? These are kind of square. I should really see which size these are. 8, I guess 8, kind of 8 by 8. Yeah. And I think these are designed for a regular, 8.5 by 11 that you would fold in half to make your pages. But no, we didn't do that. I should do some of the challenges. I don't do them. Well, I usually never end up following through. I get distracted very easily. Ah, there you go. Well, that's a way to do it. Susie says she doesn't have birthday. She has the anniversary of her 49th year. Good thinking. I know August is a busy month for a lot of the fibs. There's a lot of fibs birthdays in August. All right, so let's see. So she takes a deeper pocket, it looks like. See, there's left and right-handed, right-sided. So if I did that, nope, that's the other side. This way. Other side, other side. That doesn't look too bad. Where's my inker? Let's ink these. Oh, you are? I remember several years ago, this one gal that turned out to be really very important to me, a young lady by the name of Betsy. She came to work. She worked for me. She was one of our office workers when I was at the college. And she had blue nail polish on. I'm like, what do you have on your nails? And she's like, blue. I love wearing blue nails. And I'm like, welcome back, Laura. And I said to her, I have never ever thought about wearing blue on my nails. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love blue on my nails. And they looked really cute on her. Of course, she was a cute kid anyway, but so ever since then, I've been wearing blue. Now, of course, these are my little press-ons, but I have polished them blue. I remember my neighbor Betty and I used to go, when Betty was mobile, we used to go and get our pedicure and our nails done every 4 weeks. And she loved blue. Blue was her favorite color, but I could not get her to try it on her nails. She was stubborn. She's like, no. And I'm like, but you like blue. I know, but I don't want it on my nails. wanted on my nails. I think it would have really looked cute. I think if she'd have tried it, she would have been hooked. All right, so now I just want to make sure I glue these properly so I can make pockets, right? So I just want to do the 3 sides. What I'd really like to use is my little squeeze bottle. Let's see if I can. I know, she teases all of us. I'm like, oh, should I even look at it? Jackie's my sister. She is a rep for these nails. They're so easy. I gifted Laura a box and they're blue, right, Laura? I think they're blue that I gave Laura. So I'll have to see if she likes them. Sometimes you just get tired of going to the salon, you know? And then Betty got to where she couldn't go. She couldn't get in the chair and she was getting to where, we couldn't really transport her or nervous about transporting her and such. So we had to stop going, but could not talk her into the blue. Now I just want to make sure that, this is covered. Laura says she loves blue nails. So see, I don't want to come down like this and have that exposed. I want to make sure I cover them. Now you would put together this any way you want. It's just for me, I don't want that exposed. I'm hoping that looks okay. So I'm just going to do the 3 sides. I generally wear blue in January. To me, blue's a good month. January's a good month for blue because it just reminds me of snow. But I've had these on for several weeks now. I'm getting ready to maybe make a change. But I always have to think about when I'm streaming. Because this one popped off last night. Well, I'm lying. It came loose. I can't stand when they get loose. They feel funny. So, like when they're on properly, you don't even know they're there. You don't even think about it, right? At least I don't. And as soon as they come a little loose, to me, you can tell. So I popped it off. And I thought, well, I'll get the rest of them off and then I'll put on a different set. And then I thought, oh crap, I got a stream in the morning. I better not. So I just glued this one back on right before my stream started. I'm having trouble squeezing this out. I've cleaned this nozzle out, I think 3 times. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. It's just giving me fits. Eh. I just remembered I have a half of a grilled cheese and tomato sandwich in the fridge. Maybe I'll finish that up for lunch. Starting to think about lunch. And let me see, that's down too far. I made a mess. I made a mess. Where's my, there it is. Okay, sweetie. Enjoy your nap. This is off a little bit over here, but I think I might put lace there. Oh, blue iridescent. They're the bomb. Boy, when these needle nose little glue dispensers work properly, they're just, I think, amazing. But once it starts to get clogged, and this, see, I'm putting a little piece of wire all the way down. It goes all the way down. So I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. What the problem is, but whew, having a hard time. Having a hard time. Now, where is my, usually right by my desk here, I've got a little roll of lace. Just need a little tiny bit of lace, little bit of lace, or something. I know, right? I ordered one set of nails. This is the only pair I think I really didn't care for. And they were gold glitter. And I thought, oh, for like into the new year, you know, putting those on, they'll be really cool. Man, they were so different than the other nails and so hard to use. I never wore them. I couldn't get them. They were just, I can't explain it. They were so stiff. Like these are stiff. They're not flexible at all, but they conform to your nail really well. And I'm not sure what the difference was, but these gold ones, I could not get those on to save my life. It just was not happening. So there, oh, I see it. They're still sitting in my nail drawer, never to be used. Actually, I might have sent some to Jackal, and I'm not sure. See, I think that will look cute with a little bit. See, and it kind of clears up that rough edge there. Susie, I'm wondering, did you see where they now have the ones that change color? I haven't tried those yet. I wonder if Jackie ordered any of those. I haven't. But I'm thinking about it. I don't know if they just change color when you have them on, or they just change color if you put your hand in hot water. That might be a question to ask. See, this is why it stops up, because I don't put my cap right back on. Oh, Wendy's coming on in 30 minutes. Wendy, the papered rooster, is coming on. She usually has some cool stuff she sells. All right, I'm going to put this lace on, and then I'm going to show you my fabric journal that I'm working on. And I used a lot of the fabric that Laura gifted me. I'd made a cover, and I really liked how it turned out. And I thought, well, let me use that for now, some of you know Janet Nash, and she's got this fat little chubby fabric journal that is so yummy. So I wanted to make something like that. And then she just does little hand stitching. Oh, Susie said yes, those are so cool, but I'm not sure about them. I'm going to wait to see it. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I haven't jumped for the color changing nails. Okay, so not a lot accomplished. Did some prep work for some of these pages. I'll get after it. I've got more things to cut out. I have a napkin that I'm going to incorporate somewhere. I'm going to look through my bits of napkins. I have a little stack of bits of napkins that I think I have a bumblebee one. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to stitch around my pages. All right, so now this needs to dry. So before I head out, first of all, I did this cover like a patchwork with all these different pieces of Batiste fabric, okay? Okay, Laura, have a great day. We'll see you at your stream. I'll probably eat at my desk. And I got this trim from Pearl, so I just had to put that on. 12:30, Susie, Eastern. And this is Jacqueline dyed cloth. I did this painty fabric, and I like this sheer, so I just stitched that on. This is a quilted piece that Laura gave me. And then Laura gave me this. It's got birdhouses. You're welcome. Has birdhouses. But it's, I don't know if you can see, but it's got some shimmery stuff in the gold. It's really cool. And then Laura gave me this. This was the spine of a book that I liked. So I just stitched that on. See, this is what I was talking about before. So you see the stitch marks. This I was working on, and you're going to use that for a cluster, but then I didn't. So then they repeat. So I don't have a lot of pages, but I don't have it stitched in yet either. So I might add, and then I've got to do something for the inside cover, but I'm liking it so far. So that's inspired by Janet Nash. Okay, so that's it for me for today. I'm going to go grab some lunch and come back so I can catch Laura's stream. And I'll be prepping more of these pages and then getting on some more of my digitals that I have cut out and start putting this together. And then I have to think about the cover, see what I'm going to do. So thanks for joining me. It was good to see you all. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of the week. I'll hopefully see you on Sunday at noon. So until then, don't forget, take time to be creative, enjoy the journey, and until next time, bye-bye for now.